HHS.gov. Dogs like Zilly, the children's in-resident therapy dog, can play an important role in people's health and well-being. See how Zilly provides not only comfort and emotional support, but animal-assisted therapy because it's hashtag International Dog Day. Or hashtag National Dog Day, because dogs rule, cats drool. That's me. I'll be a dog person till the end, baby. All right, let's see here. The superpowers of a wagging tail. Oh, that's cute. Recreation therapy and physical therapy sessions. Oh, and I've got to fix this. Okay, here we go. Where is it? See, I had fixed this in pre-production, but apparently this particular thing is a little bit longer than I was expecting it to be. There we go. All right, we can still see you out to the side there. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start this over. All right. The superpowers of a wagging tail. Recreation therapy and physical therapy sessions have helped keep Luciano 4 active since he arrived at the NIH Clinical Center in the spring. But the little boy who is being treated for a serious infection doesn't always feel like participating in therapy. To motivate him and other hospitalized pediatric patients, the world's largest research hospital's recreational therapy team regularly enlists a special volunteer staff member, Zilly, the Children's Inn's gentle and fluffy therapy dog. 2 cats I love. I'm another person's cat person, meaning I love that cat as long as it belongs to somebody else. But I just don't like having to, I'm not a take home the cat person, if that makes any sense. Zilly can be a huge motivator because the patient wants to interact with the dog, says Holly Parker, an NIH Clinical Center recreational therapist and coordinator of the research hospital's animal-assisted therapy program. Children's parents and young adults staying at the inn immediately take to Zilly, a multi-generational Australian Labradoodle and certified therapy dog. But Zilly's role is to do more than bring joy. Oh, it's a beautiful dog, too. Research has shown that animals reduce stress and anxiety, lower blood pressure, and make people feel better overall. Animals also can help motivate children to attain a wide variety of therapeutic goals, physical or behavioral. In addition to the important role she plays at the Children's Inn, a partnership between the Inn and the NIH Clinical Center has given Zilly the chance to act as an honorary assistant to the Clinical Center's recreational therapy department. Several times per month, Zilly accompanies recreational therapist Holly Parker to therapy sessions with children like Luciano who are hospitalized at the NIH Medical Center. If you guys want to read more about that particular article, I'm going to put it over here in the chat. Okay. And we're going to continue. Next one up. I know I have bookmarks. Bookmarks, here we go. Secretary Robert Wilkie, to shed light on how the community can play a role in preventing veteran suicide, VA and Department of Defense are hosting a hashtag suicide prevention conference this week with experts in public and mental health. Follow Department Vet Affairs to learn more. Department of State. Earlier this year, we proudly helped launch POTUS's U.S. strategy on women, peace, and security on hashtag Women's Equality Day. Right when I got to hashtag Women's Equality Day, OBS went, nope, not doing it. We reaffirm the importance of empowering women to participate fully in political, civic, and economic life, leading to more peaceful and prosperous societies. All right, FTC, this is the one thing I wanted to show you guys today. It crapped out on Women's Equality Day. I guess OBS ain't about women's equality or something. I don't know. It's just a thought. FTC to hold workshop on Made in USA advertising and marketing claims. Workshop to review research on consumer perception of the U.S. origin claims. Consider measures to strengthen Made in USA enforcement program and learn more here. So we're going to click on here, take a look at it real quick. Let me see here. Here's some of the bullet points. How do consumers interpret Made in USA claims? Does this interpretation vary depending on the product advertised? Please provide any supporting studies, data, or other evidence. What rationales underlie consumer preferences for products made in the USA? Swear to God. Does this vary by product? How? Please provide any supporting studies, data, or other evidence. What consumer perception testing of Made in the USA claims have been done? Please provide any supporting studies, data, or other evidence. And then when consumers see product advertisements, in other words, all this stuff is going to be centered around what does Made in the USA mean? How do we make that a certification? What qualifies for the certification? And so on and so forth. That's what the workshop is going to mainly be about. The White House, President Donald Trump and Chancellor Angela Merkel discussed global and regional security challenges, particularly in Libya, in the Sahel region, as well as economic issues in Europe and a possible trade deal between the United States and the European Union. And I got the dog patrolling around. and yeah, I'm going to read it in CNN because this has been corroborated. Oh, Lord. Okay, that's the video. I ain't talking about you, Van Jones. Shut up. The Cherokee Nation wants a representative in Congress taking the U.S. government up on a promise it made nearly 200 years ago. So, it's about time. The Cherokee Nation announced Thursday that it intends to appoint a delegate to the U.S. House of Representatives, asserting for the first time a right promised to the tribe in a nearly 200-year-old treaty with the federal government. This was a historic step for the Oklahoma-based Cherokee Nation and its nearly 370,000 citizens, coming about a week after Chuck Hoskin Jr. was sworn in as principal chief of the tribe. The Cherokee Nation says it's the largest tribal nation in the U.S. and one of 3 federally recognized Cherokee tribes. The move raises questions about what representation in Congress would look like and whether the U.S. will honor an agreement it made almost 2 centuries ago. Here's what's at stake. The Cherokee Nation's right to appoint a delegate stems from the same treaty that the U.S. government used to forcibly remove the tribe from its ancestral lands. As a result of the 1835 Treaty of New Echota, the Cherokee were ultimately made to leave their homes in the southeast for present-day Oklahoma in exchange for money and other compensation. Nearly 4,000 citizens of the tribe died of disease, starvation, and exhaustion on the journey known as the Trail of Tears. This pisses me off every time I read it. A delegate in the House of Representatives is one of the ways the U.S. government promised to compensate the Cherokee Nation. So why is the tribe only taking up the offer now? Good question. Ezra Rosser, a law professor at American University, told CNN that the U.S. government has long made it difficult for tribes to exercise rights afforded to them in treaties. Oh, okay. But now tribes are asserting themselves in a way that demands the attention of non-Native Americans. We have to recognize, yeah, right? We have to recognize that we imposed a genocide on tribes and we imposed harsh measures toward any government structure that they had, as a Rosser says. To me, it's not surprising that it would take somewhat deep into the self-determination era for the tribes in a position to assert some of these rights. Hoskin echoed that sentiment, telling CNN that the Cherokee Nation today is in a position of strength that I think is unprecedented in its history. Having a delegate in the House would fundamentally alter the relationship between the U.S. government and the Cherokee Nation, Rosser wrote in a 2005 article for the Boston University Public Interest in Law Journal. Right now, the federal government and Native American tribes largely operate as 2 foreign nations that interact with one another, Rosser said. Representation in the House would incorporate the Cherokee Nation into the U.S. government itself. The 2 other Cherokee tribes recognized by the federal government are the United Ketowa Band in Oklahoma, which has about 14,000 citizens, and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians in North Carolina, which has about 16,000 citizens. It's unclear if they would have the same right to appoint a delegate. What power would they have? The treaty doesn't specify whether or not the Cherokee Nation's delegate would be a voting member of the legislature, but Hoskins said the position might look something like the non-voting members that represent Washington, D.C. and 5 U.S. territories. I think we have to look at the roadmaps that are laid out as a suggested path to seating our delegate, and certainly the delegates afforded the territories give us an idea of what is workable in the Congress, he said. There are currently 6 non-voting members in the House, Washington, D.C., and 4 primary inhabited U.S. territories. American Samoa, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and the U.S. Virgin Islands are represented by a delegate who serves a 2-year term. Puerto Rico is served by a resident commissioner who is elected every 4 years. Those representatives can't vote on the House floor, but they can vote in committees that they are on, introduce legislation, and engage in debate. Hoskins said he hoped the Cherokee Nation's delegate would help advance the interests of the tribe and, more broadly, all Native Americans. So there we go. It's a step in the right direction. For our picture of the day, happy 103rd birthday. Our love for America's natural culture, in other words, National Park Service, turns 103 today. And this is a picture of the Grand Canyon in all of its glory on a sunset, I believe. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button. If you didn't, well, that's what that dislike button is for. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for more. If you want to start a conversation, that's what the comment section is for. Any and all sources you see in the video will be listed in the description box below, as well as ways to support the channel and other ways you can follow me. Until next time, my friends, don't forget to fact check, question authority, and don't trust mainstream media.